Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. Today's video is going to be the Lightworker Gateway. I don't have any notes on what I'm about to tell you, so I'm just going to go through this with you. I've been waiting to receive information on this gateway for some time. We are already in the middle of it. This Lightworker Gateway would have started, it would be like April 4th through May 5th or May 4th is basically the timeline that this gateway is. A Lightworker Gateway is a period of time where specific energies are sent to Earth to support Lightworkers for their spiritual journeys. This is constantly going on for Earth. So on any given day, we are being sent something from someone. What I'm going through and doing is just recognizing and acknowledging who it is that's sending energies to us and why they're sending them to us. Because the other galactic beings want to support us on our journey. Earth is a very important planet. We're all working together to help this planet ascend. And so in order to get to ascension, the Lightworkers first need to heal and step into their power. And so these energies that are being sent to us are always part of that process for us as individuals. And as we go through those changes individually, it impacts the planet, it impacts our families, it impacts our lives. Let me show you something, because there was something that happened that let me know that it was time to do this video. So I'm going to show you, see if you can see it. There we go. Piece of artwork that I just received. And we're actually going to be using this piece of artwork today in place of a Lightworker Gateway crystal grid. And I know you can't see, like if I just kind of zoom in on any one given spot, it kills me that a camera or a video cannot pick up the level of beauty and detail that has been put into this artwork. By the way, I always say this artist's name incorrectly, and so I thought it might be nice if I just wrote it down, because for all of you who are Swedish or more familiar with like Nordic languages, you'll know how to pronounce this correctly. Being in the US, I always say it wrong. So this is the name of the artist. This is her website. If you are living in the US, or if you're living anywhere that does not speak Swedish, if you go to her website, it's gonna be in Swedish, but there's a button right at the top where you can click to switch it over into English, and now you can read everything. She does ship to the United States and probably lots of other countries as well, so you can always check in on that also. This particular piece, I'm actually going to pull it up on her website right now because I want to properly tell you what she has called it. So this is the Rose Stargate. And what a perfect, I'm going to have to spend some time talking about this because, so obviously she's an artist. Any artist is going to be channeling information that helps them put their artwork together. And that's whether you're painting, that's whether you are, sorry, I have Oliver walking around here. That's whether you're sewing or making like composing music or anything creative. You are channeling a guide. What makes this artist exceptional and really stand out for me is that she is channeling energies that are above the 7th dimension. That's really rare. That's really unique. I don't know that I've come across that before in artwork. It's so special. And I wish showing this to you, you could see it like I do in person. Like if you go to her website and you look through all of the artwork she has beautiful pieces. You'll flip through and you'll be like, oh, these are really nice. But if you buy one and you get it in person, it'll be 100 times better than whatever beautiful thing you were looking at on the website. What you see in person is, you just, for whatever reason, it's not captured well on photos and videos, which this is the same thing with if you try to photograph a diamond, if you try to photograph a crystal, it doesn't look anywhere near as beautiful as it does in real life. And so it's the same thing with her work. I want to talk about this being called a rose portal. So if you can't tell, so she's got all this sacred geometry going on. We've got the triangle, got all these sacred geometry shapes. What a lot of people don't realize is that roses are part of sacred geometry. So that's like not common knowledge. You're not going to go find that on a website anywhere. And so intuitively, she has chosen to surround her artwork with roses. And so there's all kinds of symbolism and spiritual meaning behind roses. It's kind of like the way there's a lot of symbolism behind lotus flowers, right? So the concept of the rose, and if you think of a rose as being like something that is infinite, so as that tight little center on the rose opens, imagine that inside being infinite and it can just continue to open, open, open. So there's no end to this rose opening. So that concept ties back into our chakras. We have, if you think about like there's a blue rose throat chakra, right? The higher throat chakra. It's your blue rose chakra. And so it's that concept of the rose tying into infinite renewal, infinite cycles, which is important in spirituality because that is the true reality, is everything's infinite. There is no stop. There is no end. We just keep going. So with the artwork, she's calling it, let me make sure I say exactly what she said, the Rose Stargate. So Stargate is like another word for portal, basically, right? A Stargate is a certain type of portal. Her artwork, I've known this since I first saw her work. They are portals. This is a portal. So her artwork, what makes it so special that she's channeling 7D and higher, is it's a portal. So what this means is that when you get a piece of artwork like this and you hang it on your wall, and I don't know if you can see, I have 2 pieces of her artwork here. I have them all over my home. If you get a piece of her artwork and you hang it on your wall, you now have an energy portal, and it's connecting to very specific types of energies. And she talks about that on her website, and I'll read it to you, what she has written about it. But it's connecting to specific kinds of energies. And so you will benefit from those energies radiating out at you, and you'll benefit from it whether you're standing there and looking at the artwork or not, because I don't have a lot of free time, so I'm not spending a huge amount of time looking at my artwork. But I know each time I get a new piece of her artwork, it's like I get a little upgrade. So I love it. Let me tell you what she wrote about this piece, and then I want to pull some oracle cards because I want to get information on what's going on with this Stargate. Based on the colors pink and green and the heart shape on her artwork, I feel very strongly that this is going to be work that's done on our heart chakras, but I want to get more information on that. So the Rose Stargate, which is based, so this is her artwork. Yeah, the gateway to the universe of the heart. This painting is more than a work of art. It is a living, oh my God, I didn't even read this beforehand. It is a living gateway of frequency, love, and cosmic activation. That is exactly right. A stargate created through the vision of the heart and the memory of the soul. So that's important. So these energies that she's tapping into, it's not just about your heart chakra, it's your heart chakra throughout time. This is like the quantum energy version of your heart chakra. In the center, a sacred eye pulsates, surrounded by roses and light. It doesn't just look outward, it looks inward. It opens the third eye, clairvoyance, and connects back to the soul behind the eyes. The vibration of the turquoise color connects you to the wisdom of water, to spiritual clarity, and to the healing power of the star source. The rose ring holds the keys of the heart, the feminine code of security, surrender, and unconditional love. The rays of light flowing out of the gate carry codes from star systems beyond time, especially the Pleiades, so where the Pleiadians come from, Andromeda, and Sirius. The Rose Stargate is a painting that is not sold. It is called to the soul, with whom it will walk with. The soul that is ready to remember. The soul that is ready to open, to step through. Carry it in your room as an altar, a guardian, an activation. Look at it as you meditate, pray, or just rest in the light. Let it whisper to you what you need to remember. Okay. And she has more information here on it as well. Beautiful. Okay. What I want to do, let me go ahead and pull some cards. I really don't know what's going to come through, but it's going to be what I need to know about this Lightworker Gateway for all of us. And then I'm actually going to flip the camera and I'm going to allow you to kind of look properly at this artwork without me just like holding it up. And we'll just do a little bit of energy work on the heart chakras. So, oh, okay. I already know, they just talked to me. So she had made mention about water in her description, that the turquoise color connects to the energy of water. And they kind of highlighted that for me when I went over it. And right now I just asked, okay, are the Pleiadians connecting with us now? And they said no. And I'm like, is it the Andromedans? And they said no. I said, is it Sirius? They said yes. Sirius has 3 planets. Sirius A, which I know like 0 about, to be honest. Sirius B and Sirius C. Sirius B is a water planet. This is who we're connecting with right now. So that's not the only energies that are present in her artwork, but for the purposes of the Lightworker Gateway, that's who's coming through is Sirius B, which is a water planet. They have whales on that planet, so they have essentially crystalline whale energies that were present on that planet. They have crystalline dolphins that were present on that planet. They had merpeople on that planet. And this all makes sense for me now because in the last video that I did, the dolphins came through. Remember, we were talking about flow and we were talking about movement and we were asking the crystalline dolphins, hey, can you if there's any energy blockages in me, can you come in and move it through? And when that happened, my first thought was, oh my gosh, I wonder if it's the crystalline dolphins that are going to be part of the Lightworker Gateway. And so I kept trying to make a crystal grid for it and it just wasn't happening. And this is why, because it wasn't just the crystalline dolphins. It is all of Sirius B. Let me see where Metatron. So this is kind of funny, this Oracle card deck, because it's horrible. Like, I mean, I like it because it shows you different, like here, just for example. It shows you pictures of different crystals, but like the wording on it is always kind of questionable. And and there's not a lot going on with the, oh, that's weird. I just shuffled it and I got the same card again. It's odd. Okay. There's not a lot going on with the picture, so there's not a lot of opportunity for me to pick up other messages that aren't based on the words. But I'm gonna, do you want this one? This one. Okay. So right now I'm just gonna pull all the cards that he wants from this deck, and then I'll read those cards. And then I have 2 more card decks. And so I just want to look at those and see what information we can pick up on from Sirius B. Okay. I actually already have a guide from Sirius B. A long time ago, I talked about it. There was a past lifetime on Sirius B where I was a mer person, and I loved my partner so much in that lifetime, and there was like an accident and he died. And I kind of, I didn't recover well from that experience in that lifetime, unfortunately. But his soul is a version of my guardian angel, is what I will call him. A guide that protects my physical body. Everyone has one. Every one of you have 2 permanent guides right and left of you. They're the ones closest to you. And one of them keeps your physical body alive. Like, that's their job, making sure you don't die. And the other one is the main voice, typically, that you hear when you're getting guidance, when they're like, oh, you shouldn't do that, or you should go here. It's that, like, encouraging voice. So check out, I just want you to see, let me kind of put this in order. I just want you to see the colors on this without even reading what these cards are. Look at all. We have green, we have blue, and we have gold. And that's exactly what we have here. And you guys can't see, but she has hand embellished gold onto this, which is just amazing. Okay, so let me see. What do you want me to do with this? Is this like the, okay. Okay. Yeah. Tend to your emotional garden. So we're talking about the heart chakra. So the energies that Sirius, oh my God, of course. So water, the element of water is tied into emotions. We're talking about the heart. Of course, there's emotions with the heart. They're saying tend to your emotional garden. Yeah, so this is going to be all about us trying to heal the things that aren't healed yet. We've got bloodstone here, which says break a sweat to get it done. Yeah, so what they're really saying is put your effort into your emotional healing. Look beyond yourself and think big pic, which is big picture. This is tying back to the messaging that we read off of the artist's website, because she was talking about this tying back to memories of the soul, right? And that's what we're all dealing with in our heart, not just what's happened in this lifetime that's traumatized us, but also everything that's happened in every past lifetime that we haven't processed yet. Honor your experiences. So when something hurts emotionally, don't shove it down. Don't ignore it. Don't tell yourself, oh, I don't have the right to feel however you feel about it. Honor it. Be like, you know what? That makes me really mad. And I've already been mad about that, but I'm not done being mad about that. And that's okay, because sometimes we have to go deeper into these emotions to truly process them. And look, when we process more of our emotional trauma from the heart, brings us abundance. That's a no-brainer. Okay, good cards, Metatron. Okay, this next deck, this guy is amazing. So these cards are from Wizard Azanon. You can only, as far as I know, you can only get them on Etsy. He probably has a website that he sells them on, but I got them off of Etsy. And he is another very talented individual who uses art in a different way. He uses like digital art to put together these phenomenal sacred geometric shapes that again are portals. Okay, let me make sure I pull all of these and then I'll show them to you guys. And this deck, the other cool thing, it's an expensive deck, but it's totally worth it because, well, one, the energies, but two, he gives you like, I think it's like 75 cards. Like it's an extremely large amount of oracle cards. A lot of decks have a lot fewer cards than that. It's going to take me just a second. There we go. Any more? Okay. It takes me just a second to get through them all. Let me put these down and I'll pick up. Is there any particular order? No? Okay. Well, I'm just going to say them how I pulled them then. Let me flip them around. Okay. I want you to look at these two because these are portals. These are activating. There's a lot of energy in the work that he does. So this is Temple of Amethystia, so like the Amethyst Temple. Tranquility, patience, dissolution. Yeah, when you haven't processed your suffering, there can be no peace. When you haven't processed the things that are hurting you, there can be no peace. There can be no tranquility. It's necessary to do that inner work. Here we have Chamber of Initiation. Spiritual gifts, mystery, enchantment, secret. Yeah. We do not fully understand chakras. Like when spiritual people come on YouTube and we're the experts and we're sitting here and we're telling you this is what's going on. And you're like, wow, this is really insightful. We are talking about like 0.0001% of what that chakra actually is and does. It's just so far beyond what we know or probably could even describe if we did know it. Metatron's calling it out. He's like, heal your heart to access spiritual gifts, secrets, mysteries. There's so much that connects back to the heart. The artist was referencing the cosmic heart. And that's why it's not just your heart chakra and all of your chakras connect to the chakras of the universe. So yeah, so that's when it kind of pops your brain and expands you because you can have access to everything through your own energy body. That's part of what makes the human body so epic because we have access to more cool toys, essentially, in the spiritual world than other races, other planets who have come before us have. What is this? Look how pretty that is. I am all about this. Harmonic oscillator. Timing, rhythm, synchronization, frequency. Okay, so every time you heal something, every time you learn a lesson, every time you release something that you've been hanging on to that wasn't true, it changes your frequency. It allows you to align to higher timelines. It allows you to enter a frequency where your time, it's hard to explain this. What he's showing me is that when we have trauma, our frequency is kind of like, it's like kind of shaky. It's not quite right. When we heal, as we heal more, the closer we get to being healed, it starts smoothing out the frequency and it starts putting us in this flow of energy that brings us abundance, that brings us opportunities, that starts making things much easier. But we have to do the hard work of facing the emotional aspects of it. These are beautiful. Temple of Centering. I really love these cards. Solitude, seclusion, grounding, belonging. Yeah, when you heal issues with the heart, it can help you with your other chakras, because even though we don't reference it, all the chakras are really well connected to each other. So if you feel unloved and like you don't belong, that's going to impact your root chakra and your earth star chakra. It's going to impact your ability to feel grounded and safe and secure. Haha, look at this. Heart of the Pentagon. And I just want to leave it up here just so you guys can get a little bit of those cool energies. Joy, playfulness, pleasure. Yeah. When we're holding on to trauma, it impacts our ability to access joy, playfulness, and pleasure. And joy, playfulness, and pleasure, this is where your soul belongs. The soul belongs in joy, being silly, being playful, having fun, and enjoying everything. Enjoying sensory experiences, physical experiences, spiritual experiences, all of it. That's what your soul wants to be doing. And so it will constantly try to pull you towards that. Last card in this deck, Chamber of Teleportation. Journey, exchange, transference. Yeah, this is just referencing her artwork. Is a portal for you. Your heart is a portal to elsewhere. So healing your heart is going to allow you to journey and transport to other places and other times where there are beneficial energies for you. Okay. Last deck of cards. And then we're going to take a look at the grid together and we'll do some activating work. Ooh. It's funny, I can already hear them. Oh my gosh. So Sirius B, remember we talked about it's a water planet, and they have the like crystalline whale energies. So the crystalline whales are associated with the heart. They are associated with heart energy. There are crystalline whale energies that are present on every single planet at the center, in the heart or in the center of every planet. And it's, it's tied into our chakras as well. These cards are just going to repeat what we already pulled. It makes sense that the whales and the dolphins are working together to try to help us with those blockages. Okay, so this is bigger picture. Take a step back and gather your thoughts and feelings. You have to take time out to process your feelings. You can't be busy all the time and expect your feelings to just fade away and process. Like they're just waiting to be given attention. Again, look, we're repeating messages, abundance. So my guides do this. When they repeat messages across cards, it's validation. It's like, yep, you pulled the right cards the first time. We're going to keep shouting from the rooftops the same message. So abundance, move with the flow of abundance around and through you. And the only way to access that flow of abundance is this, to make sure you don't have the blockages, right? Got Tiger, divine timing. Good things come to those who wait. Yeah, it takes time. It takes time to process these emotional things. but the cosmic timing of this is no accident. Like every time I talk to you about a different Lightworker Gateway and what they're working on and why they're working on it, there's nothing random about it. It's extremely strategic. They know exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it. And it goes from, the small scale of who you are to, the big macro scale of, what's going on on the planet, what's going on in the universe. So no accidents. We have listen up from the bats. Yeah, you are working through deep soul patterns. Release any outdated beliefs that surface. By the way, we have a service called Releasing Soul Patterns. And if that's something that you haven't had that you are interested in, we recommend that you do an Akashic Records reading with us first. But if you've done the Akashic Records reading with us and you want to go deeper and you want to really dig out some deep trauma, do the Releasing Soul Patterns session, because we go much deeper. And that's one of those sessions that I have many clients who will do it as many times as Metatron thinks is beneficial for them. And so sometimes that's like 3 or 4, 3 or 4 times to really dig out all these soul patterns that we're all hanging on to. But even if you don't get the session, just focusing on what's holding you back in your heart emotionally, that is going to benefit you. And there's no energy work in the world that can replace you taking the time to process your own grief, your own suffering, your own losses, your own disappointments, your own hurts. No energy work can replace that. It's very, very important that you be putting that quiet time in on your own simultaneously while you are getting energy work done. Otherwise, you'll never see the results that you're truly looking for. We have the hair that's showing up. Whenever I see a rabbit, to me, it's all about abundance. Take time to make clear decisions. Bring awareness and light to the situation. Yeah. Take the time to heal. Bring light to what's hurting you. We've got beautiful swan here. Graceful transformation. Soften your heart and find the flow. Do you guys see that? This is what we're talking about. Because when you're holding a bunch of hurts, your heart hardens and you can't feel things the way you're meant to feel things. You're meant to feel things deeply. And we're all scared of that, right? Because we remember the times that we felt things deeply and then someone let us down or something happened and it really hurt. And so we tell ourselves, oh, I don't ever want to feel that way again. And so we kind of harden it up. But this spiritual journey is about healing those wounds and releasing the armor that we have around our hearts, softening up. We've got Peacock. This is the last card, self-love. Time to celebrate you and all your magnificent light. Yeah. Because when we're talking about love, talking about the heart, it comes back to like your willingness to heal yourself is going to come back to self-love. Do you think you are worthy of taking that time and effort to really dig through things? Because if you have a block on self-love, you're going to be like, no, I got to do laundry. I got to pick up the kids. I got to garden. I got things I got to do. I'm too busy. I just don't have any time for myself. You got to change that thinking to change yourself, to change the world. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to switch over and we're going to take a look at our artwork for the Lightworker Gateway. Okay, so this is the artwork that we're going to be using kind of in place of a crystal grid. I'm going to very gently embellish her artwork. I really don't want to do anything to cover it up, so I'm just going to kind of go around it. I'm going to be using some different Herkimer diamonds. Herkimer diamonds are not actually diamonds, they are quartz. clear quartz from Herkimer, New York. If you watched my last video that was talking about the energies for April 2025, Herkimer Diamond came up as one of the crystals for this month. So because of that, it's very appropriate for us to utilize them on this artwork to just enhance it, because anytime you are using clear quartz, and sorry if you can see my hands are shaky, that's what happens when I have coffee apparently. Anytime you use clear quartz, it's going to amplify whatever energies you have present. So right now I can just feel that like crazy. So clear quartz is amplifying what's already perfect and beautiful on this. I've also brought forward some green fluorite that has pyrite on it, and I don't actually remember if this was relevant in any way to April energies, but it felt right, especially since we got that pyrite card earlier. So I'm just gonna add those because we want to have the abundance tied in with the healing. Okay. I have a couple Amanda Ellis sprays. So basically what I'm doing here is essentially a demonstration of magic. So I'm taking one person, I'm taking the artist here, I'm taking all of her talent, all of her magic, and I'm then combining it with the magic of the crystals, and I'm then going to combine that with the magic of Amanda Ellis's sprays, and then I'm going to combine that with my own personal energy and my guides. And so whenever you're doing this combination of magical energies, you're getting a much more powerful output. So that's just kind of like Magic 101, that's what that was. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. I have 3 sprays from Amanda Ellis that I want to use. If you are interested in Amanda Ellis's sprays or the artwork that you see here, both links are available underneath this YouTube in case you'd like to check out their website. So this is Love and Light Activation. It's tied in with crystalline energies, which is what we've been talking about when we're talking about the whales from Sirius B. We're talking about the dolphins of Sirius B. I'm going to go ahead and spray this one. And so this is a very high vibrational energy. I mean, it's called Love and Light Activation for a reason. It's a beautiful, soft, soothing, gentle smell. So we're going to use that. I'm also going to use water element because we're dealing with a water planet, because we're talking about flow and moving out traumas and moving out blockages and getting into the right vibration of things. Okay. And then the last one I'm going to use is the Pink Lotus spray. And this one is really, it's heart chakra is what it says on there. Heart chakra. And that's why we're going to use this one. One of my absolute favorites. Okay. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and activate this. My hand is above the camera so you do not see it. But I'm just using my energy and my guide's energy to activate this for all of you. And so the intention of this grid, if you will, is to assist you with softening and releasing the hardened traumas that are present in your heart chakra. And so if you want to take a moment now, do some deep breathing. Become aware of how the center of your chest feels and also how the center of your upper back feels, because when you have trauma in that area, it can show up either way. Sometimes it shows up in the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the hands, because those are an extension of your heart chakra. So any discomfort, any pain, any stiffness in any of those areas is tying back to this one chakra. So just take a moment and kind of become aware of your shoulders, become aware of dropping them down lower and relaxing them, relaxing your fingers, and just taking some deep breaths to clear anything that may feel stiff or stuck within your energy body. The crystalline whales and the crystalline dolphins are going to be assisting us with this. And this process that we're doing right now, this really isn't about just right now on this video. This is an initiation. This is an activation, if you will. This is the starting point of requesting these energies to come in. So you might be, I would hope, you would be experiencing the benefits of this for the full month and into the beginning of May, and even longer if that's what you need. And even longer if that's what you need. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Let me see if there's any other messaging that they want to give around this. Some ways you can tell how healed your heart is. If your heart is very healed, it'll be easy for you to show gentleness and compassion. Those will flow from you easily if your heart is in a softened, receptive, loving state. Probably doesn't feel supernatural for all of us, but we at least need to know what our goal is so we can start moving closer to that. This is not about perfection or like checking all the boxes and being like, yeah, I'm always loving, I'm always gentle, I'm always, open to everything. Because that's not how human beings work, and that's not how any being works. This is about becoming aware of what is truly important to our souls and making a conscious effort to take small steps in that direction. Because over time, those small steps become huge journeys. So be patient. Keep your eyes focused on the larger picture. See the bigger goal. You can't see all the progress you're making day to day, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that 5 years from now, you will be an entirely different person than who you are right now. And all of your choices will shape who you are in 5 years. This is what I have for all of you. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.